The Redmi, the K20 the Pro is the phone that I'm gonna give you my first impressions today. I got it about 8 hours ago, so at pretty much the same time as the ZTX and 10 Pro. Did some parallel testing, did the same camera testing part, have to evaluate a few things here, did also my initial testing here, and also, same as with that one, I can give you an early impression already of what I think about this phone, and that's what I wanna share here. And since we're already talking about sharing, well, they shared with you this case for free, which is obviously always apart. It's a little bit of an odd texture. I don't like the kind of potato feel, but well, it's there. Now, in terms of design, there are some kind of more flashy versions like the black here one, not so much, but the red one and the blue one definitely are more impressive. But nothing changed the fact that this phone feels impressive. This kind of feels what I would like the OnePlus 7 Pro to feel like, because this is noticeably smaller. For example, here with the ZTE, as you can see, it is a little bit less tall, therefore a little bit less wide, actually pretty much the same here, but not much, but thicker, 20 grams heavier, but noticeably smaller after all compared to the, well, OnePlus 7 Pro, which it's not competing against with, since this is priced at around 400 euros, at least the base price. But I'm almost afraid to even mention that, since by the time this review will be out, the price will already drop. That's something that just simply happens all the time with Xiaomi. We have a curved back, something I like, since the phone then feels thinner, even though it feels a little bit on the chunkier side since it has a 4000 mAh battery. But with the like 196 grams, it feels very nice and dense, high quality. Buttons have a good tactile feedback. Not the best one, but still fine. Camera protrudes just a little bit. Then we have, oh yeah, you have it. The headphone jack, microphone, the camera that slides out, nothing on the left. Mono speaker, USB-C, and the SIM card tray. We don't have a notch, which is nice to see. We have a fingerprint reader though in the display, and it works good. It's not the crazy fastest one, but it's reliable. It's not quite on a Mi9 level, it feels to me, but maybe that will improve with time. Generally, the bezels, they don't really have to improve, I think, because they are not super tiny, but overall nice aesthetics, feels great. Nice. So let's get into the display. Well, typically for Xiaomi, they use the good display. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. It has a good brightness. Out of the box colors are definitely a little bit oversaturated. I noticed that when I did my camera testing with the OnePlus 7 Pro and the ZTE, this one always looked by far the most vibrant, and I didn't even use increased contrast just yet. Obviously that's that. So display feels nice and smooth, feels good in terms of sharpness. Colors look fine, not super accurate, but definitely very pleasing. Bright, about 720 lux, not nits, in manual mode at the maximum brightness. And well, that's that. It's a good display. It's definitely better than it was here. But if you would ask me if it's better than on the Mi9, I would almost have to say no. From my memory, that one felt a little bit more impressive. Now, speaker-wise, yes, it might only be a mono speaker, but what I like maybe the most is not just that it's loud enough, absolutely, but it's very nice and rich. It doesn't distort, and it sounds really, really pleasant, really warm. I like that. What I don't like so much is, yeah, no, it's actually there. Joke on me. The headphone jack, because I'm so used to not having it that it's almost a surprise to me. Typical for Xiaomi or Redmi here, it should be very loud. It should be about on a Samsung level, which means that pretty much there above we only have something like the LG phones with presets here and all that, so all good. Performance also all good. It feels nice and smooth, not like the Zenfone 6, like dragging through mud. Very nice, responsive, switching through the tasks that work like this. Yeah, fully pleasing. I'm happy with the performance, absolutely. It does a nice job. Not as fast, obviously, since it has no 90 Hz or no UFS 3 storage like the OnePlus. But this is totally flagship level, absolutely. Which I expect the battery to be as well, since it has a 4000 mAh battery, 1080p 60 display, usually normal efficiency. We'll have to see about that, but I have high hopes. I'm not gonna talk about the software. It's MIUI. You either like it or you don't. At the moment, I'm more at the don't like it so much part, because it feels like an extra odd process to get everything going like I usually do with all the other phones. There's some extra work here, some other things. I mean, yes, this is the Chinese ROM, I get that. I haven't used the global in ages, but MIUI is not that kind of entry friendly. You have to kind of know what you are getting into. But then if you like it, it's fine. Usually you get updates for a long period of time. You get them quite quickly. Maybe not the newest Android version, but they actually got quicker here. And I'm also not gonna go into the camera app because you've seen that nothing has really changed. But what I want to go into actually quite quick though, and we'll evaluate that pretty much on the fly, is the camera quality. I have to evaluate a little bit more, do some more tests, but for right now it looks like this. Selfies look nice and sharp, but they look a little bit kind of, yeah, I'm not quite so sure. A little bit flat. The bokeh mode works nice. I really like the cutout here. Okay, it had a little bit easy since there was no hair to kind of cut around, but it didn't get it perfect here, as you can see. Generally nice, but I also have to say generally a little bit flat, generally a little bit overexposed, and I'm missing a little bit of contrast. I think then those pictures would look a lot nicer. And yeah, I know Gcam will improve on all of that, but for a normal review, I can't really put that into the equation. So yes, I know Gcam will make it better, but right now, yeah, this is not even a camera review yet. But it's good. It's definitely better than the X10 Pro is in terms of quality of the front shooter. So let's get that out of the way. Now this is the normal picture, and this is with the night mode. Night mode does a good job. Look at the sharpness here, and look at it now. It does maybe get better, but the contrast here feels a little bit more pleasing. So it's definitely not doing worse than some other ones do. For example, as you can see here, it does a nice job. It doesn't really improve the picture, but it definitely doesn't worsen it. And this is, for example, what's going on right now. Okay. And we are going again. So outside, let's check the zoom cam. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm okay with that. The normal pictures look nice. Like I said, on the display, since it is so saturated, everything feels crazy over sharpened. I mean over saturated and over contrast. In reality, here it actually looks quite nice. Obviously, if you use the AI mode, it will boost colors too much. The wide angle cam, as you can see here, not the very best one. It's better on the Axon. The normal one is still fine, and closer up it feels also good. Here once again, very mushy. Looks weird. With the normal one already a lot better. Then for example here also looks nice. Bokeh mode, I mean, it's supposed to make the background blurry, but not also the foreground. So, okay, let's say that this didn't work out so well. This worked out really nice though. Very nice dynamic range here, very nice pleasing colors, great sharpness all over. The wide angle here did a really good job. So it's maybe a little bit of a hit and miss with the wide angle. Here the normal one, really nice again, here as well. And this is a shot that is really hard, and it did overblow here a little bit, something in the highlights, but this is a very hard shot, so I kind of get it, especially since it after all looks pretty good. I'm okay with that. This, for example, is the AI mode, as you can see, so it pretty much just lifts it up and boosts it a little bit. Here, for example, also very nice picture, no complaints. This one, also pretty good. Foreground got a little bit blurry, where the background got full focus, but otherwise, generally nice. Nice smooth blur here at the back. So also, good picture. Wide angle here, yeah, here once again didn't work so well. This looks very, very odd. With the normal one, it looks a lot better. With the zoom, a little bit, okay. And here once again, so let's quickly go through these. Once again, the AI mode, not quite my thing. The front cam has potential, especially with Gcam, where we'll get the colors more right. This will be definitely pleasing because the sharpness feels good and it doesn't look like over sharpening. And white balance generally feels fine, and it feels like a quick camera. Here it blew it out a little bit, but that's okay. So yeah, the front facing is actually pretty good. Better than, I mean, I wish the OnePlus 7 Pro would make pics like this. Now, I'm not going to show the videos, but I'm going to talk a little bit about them. And when I'm going to talk about talking already, I made a vlog style video, just like on the ZTE 10 Pro, with the front-facing camera with a selfie stick, and I'm trying to tell you what I think about the phone. And yeah, you decide later on if you want to watch that. I'm gonna add it to the end because yeah, it's quite shaky with the selfie stick. So just about that. Otherwise, the quality seems fine. Also, like I said, for photos, portrait mode works nice. Low light looks good so far. Main camera looks good. Wide angle a little bit flaky still, and the zoom works out fine. Video is generally also pretty good. The autofocus is a little bit too fast, not quite as smooth. The 4K, I'm gonna show this in the review, 4K 30 looks very well stabilized, but every time you hit with the foot on the floor, this bounce makes an odd, unpleasant blur. So I actually prefer 4K 60 with this cam generally, but that's pretty much that. Let's evaluate what I think about this phone so far. Okay, design, I like it a lot. It's a little bit bulkier, but it feels really nice, and it's not kind of crazy too big. Very good build quality, very nice display, not quite Mi9 level or something like that. Speaker, just mono, but a really good one. Performance, top notch. Battery life should be MIUI. And the camera so far, yes. But what I'm asking myself is where this phone actually competes against, for example, the Mi9. Okay, I get it. No notch, slide out camera and so on. But generally, this feels like a very similar phone. It feels like a slightly thicker Mi9. Generally, very similar aspects like the display, like the performance, like okay, the battery life will be better here on this one. But that's almost pretty much it, and you can by now get the Mi9 a lot cheaper. So this right now, what does it compete with? I mean, it's a little bit more expensive than the Mi9. Similar performance, similar generally quality level, but it's noticeably cheaper, like something like the OnePlus 7. But at that territory, it actually does a pretty nice job. Not overwhelmingly amazing or something like that. So it didn't surprise me. This is a very, how would I have to say, like, expectable phone. So when I saw the specs and knowing Xiaomi and knowing what they usually do, sticking to the basics, that's what I expected. So yeah. And now Shake of Death. Watch it or don't. I would get it. Okay. On the next time. Bye. Okay, just so you know, I have not used the Redmi K20 Pro that much yet. But my very early first impressions are design really nice. Gotta say, it feels great. Pretty much the perfect size for these common big phones. Fingerprint reader is fine. The display looks pretty nice. Speaker, even though it's just mono, is actually a pretty good one, I have to say. Really surprisingly good. Performance is Snapdragon 855, Xiaomi, typical, absolutely. Battery life I can't judge, but with the 4000 mAh battery it should actually be pretty good with just 1080p60 software. That's the one thing that I'm still not the biggest fan. I'm actually gonna return now. The biggest fan of, because just when I set up a phone I already notice immediately the difference. It's so much more pain to go through. You have to install the Google Play Store. Okay, that's not a thing on the global ones, but still so many other options. But I guess also things like restoring. I don't actually even know if you can just restore your settings like you can do on any other Android phone, because I haven't used the global Xiaomi in ages. So that's something that you could actually tell me. But camera, well, I'm just testing that. Well, when I'm gonna make my first impressions video, I can tell you already not much more. But so far it looks pretty nice, but that's not an evaluation. So for now, downsides, possible ones. Let me think about it. I like the design. I like the display. Speaker is okay. Not my first choice, but yeah. Performance is great. Battery life should be great. I guess it's actually pretty much just the software, because I'm pretty sure that actually for the price even the camera will be decent, especially if you would use something like Gcam. So I'm not so sure. This, for everyone who's not into stock Android or something like that, who's fine with using MIUI, this might be a nice package. It's not actually quite as cheap, but it might totally be worth it. But I guess I'm actually gonna add something to this end, so because then I just know a little bit more about the phone. This is just very early on.